the hardest person or the most annoying person to tackle? You know what I mean? Running back, receiver, maybe even, I don't know. But who was like, man, I hate tackling this person?
Bro, it was one play, I think maybe my rookie year. I'm looking up from the crib, so I'm looking up. He like a legend, you know what I mean? Like Ricky Williams. I make a move, meet him in the backfield, and that boy hit me solid to the chest. And I remember that hit to this day. I don't know if he felt it, but that bitch hit my soul, bro. I was like, damn, that's what this shit feel like.
Live, good to go. We're live. Another episode of Adversity Kings with my partner. So not only in the insurance space, but in the podcast space, it was destined to happen. You know what I mean? So super grateful to have Steve Dell on, rocking the podcast now and taking the podcast from where I've been able to grow it naturally and organically and kind of bringing in just a whole nother level of experience and life and connections, which is going to 10X. I mean, you guys have enjoyed the podcast so far. You're going to really enjoy it with what me and Steve got planned. You know what I mean? So super sick. Steve, who you brought for us today, bro?
Come on, man. Excited, man. I first of all, just before we get started, man, to be able to partner with you in this podcast, Adversity Kings, all the things that we've done over the years, the beginning, the stories, and the things that we're going to add to this is going to be crazy. But to start off, being able to, bring people in and obviously have these stories and what we're going to accomplish at the same time, I brought in my brother, my main guy, somebody, just to give a little bit about him, Jabaal Sheard, a very accomplished young man, but also a guy I played with at the University of Pittsburgh, my brother there, a real dog on the field, accomplished 10-year vet in the NFL, a Super Bowl champ, a philanthropist.
Philanthropist.
Yeah, philanthropist. Come on, man. But no, just a businessman, a family man, and somebody that's great that these are the type of people that we want to bring on so we can get an audience and make sure that they see the stories and see what's really going on. So, welcome Jabaal Sheard to obviously Adversity Kings, brother. What's going on?
Appreciate y'all boys having me, man. Go, man, just living, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. So, part of the reason, I was able to partner with Tristan is we started off in the insurance game 5, 6, 7 years ago, something like that, right?
Years ago.
And you talk about, all the things that it took for us to get here.
Yeah.
And so, when you think about somebody like yourself, man, Adversity Kings, the first thing I told you, right, when I was talking about bringing Jabaal on and kind of being able to, talk about your stories, like I looked at you as somebody who was, first of all, from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, from my city, from the area we from, and coming up to school, another guy, I was only a year or two older than him, but his attitude, his humility, him like being older as far as how he acted and what he decided that he was gonna do very early when he came up there, which is straight business. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously taking that on the field and being great at what you do. And then 10 years down the road, and I ain't, like I said, I'm not gonna lie. Who would have thought 10 years later and the adversity you had to go through at Pitt? Yeah. So I just want you to talk about it a little bit, man, if you can, if it's something that, you could do, like the adversity, like being a guy, but kind of not being a guy. And you know what I'm saying?
Just chilling. Yeah. Man, we from the crib, so you already know, man, it's built up, man. Everybody down here, hella athletes down here. We in South Florida, man. Shit, you can name. You go across the border, the dudes that's in the league or in college. You know what I mean? Everybody from down here raw as hell.
Right.
You come out, you got a straight athlete that starts from pee-wee football. You know what I mean? So off rip, it's just hard to make it out of here, man. A lot of people that we seen, like you grew up with, I'm sure you had dogs in front of you that was raw as hell. Yeah. And shit, to make it out, it's crazy, it's a blessing, you know what I mean? Like often you ask yourself like, God, like, you sit back and think about it like, shit, how me? Like how did I make it out of all the great ass athletes we got down here that I've been around, seen in front of me.
Man, let's get to the point. University of Miami, Florida, Florida State, did they offer you a scholarship?
UM did. Yeah, UM did.
Oh,
all the rest of
right.
the rest
I
of them.
was about to say we was gonna have some issues there, man.
UM, but Larry Coker got fired back then. That was
Okay.
during that era, so Larry got fired. I was looking at going to UM, but shit, it all worked out.
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
Know
What made you come to Pitt though?
Y'all boys, man. Honestly, man, I took my visit up there, seeing, I could be away from the crib and still had a crib there.
Yeah.
Y'all boys was alive, man. Honestly, Coach Wanstad.
Yeah. Shout out to Wani.
Yeah, Coach Wani.
You got sold on the. Was it? You think it was the coach that sold you? Because I'm trying to sit here.
Coach Wani was. Hey.
Why would you leave South Florida weather and the environment? I'm thinking like I'm married, but I'm thinking like the women. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
right.
you left that vibe to go up to. I call it Schittsburg. You know what I mean? Like what?
Shout out to the Bird.
Yeah.
The Berg, all right. No, it did its job. But, being at the crib, it's easy to fall into distraction. Honestly, man, shit. When I think one visit I took down here was FIU. And shit, we ain't do nothing but go to Coco's. Like, you know what I mean? You could do that any time, you know what I mean? Yeah. Obviously, I think I went on my visit probably in the summer, so I really ain't, or like beginning winter.
Oh,
so
they
I
tricked
really
you.
ain't
They tricked you. Oh, you ain't hit that.
What years were you picking schools though? What years was that?
07 I graduated.
So what documentary came out, the University of Miami on Netflix when they had
30
the
for
crazy
30?
Yeah. What was that when it was like Tebow was there, the Hernandez or something?
Oh, you talking about that's after.
That's about our era, but no, they kind of all left during.
Yeah.
They wasn't at Florida. Yeah,
But they was going in.
But then the hype of they were there before y'all a little bit, right?
No. They was a year. It was a year. It was my year.
Okay.
But it was a year before him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but like, didn't that hype up of them make you like, man, like I want to get around because they had hype going on.
But that was Florida though.
Yeah,
that was
UF,
Florida.
yeah,
Okay.
That was at University of Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
Okay.
a little different, but
shows my intelligence. That's why we got Steve on. I'll be talking to you
Florida,
about.
no, they was raw. I mean, it's like I said, everybody recruit from South Florida, so
Yeah.
shit, if you didn't get on, I wasn't a 5-star, you know what I mean, athlete coming out.
Yeah.
Like they go by stars and shit,
But that's to add to that, that's what puts you in a position to work. And I seen like, cause a lot of us from Florida, like you gotta think about it, right? So we coming from Florida, right? So we thinking and we grow up like University of Miami, Florida State. If you don't get a scholarship from that school, you like a third, like you like a second leg to the next school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's why going to Pitt and being able to have such a, the attitude and the chip on the shoulder to play them, and then we got an opportunity to play them.
Yeah.
Oh, it was crazy. So that's the adversity like that I be thinking about, especially for yourself, man. You may have been a 3. I don't want to mess your stars up.
Probably Rob was old school. Probably a 3-star.
A 3-star player.
How do they rank the stars? Like how many?
Man, it's these camps. Back then it was the camps. It was the it was the recruiters who wanted to.
I don't want to call y'all old, but did you have Huddle?
Hey man, you started off.
We didn't even have Huddle.
Nah, we ain't had Huddle right then.
Huddle
yeah, YouTube. Yeah, VHS.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? VHS.
No,
yeah, don't forget.
Check out my VHS.
Yeah, you gotta record your video and then put it on another video.
Yeah, they gotta come. They
you
gotta
mail it to the coach.
Oh man,
yeah, this old school. Yeah,
but you played. We played with a Darrell Revis. We played with LaShawn McCoy. Yeah. We played with a Clint Session. Who we got Clint coming in. We got Clint coming on.
What position did he play?
Outside linebacker. I played with him. You know what I'm saying? But he was a guy that was the next guy in line. That was yo. When he get his opportunity and he get his chance to really shine, it was like, all right, there, he's the guy. You know what I'm saying? So that was awesome to see because I seen him come in and I seen how much hard work he put in, whether it was he wasn't like the way, you know what I'm saying? They gave him some of that good food and you know what I'm saying? A little bit of that creatine what that was. And all of a sudden, with that juice, he, you know what I'm saying? And so it was good to see that. But anything that you would say to like somebody who has, that opposition or like they coming in as a 2-star, 3-star, or, even in business, what we do, like he came into a business of grown men. You know what I'm saying? Grown men, he 18, 19 years old and you take over, bro. Yeah. Like you take over the game and that's what draws your attention to all right, boom, you should be drafted to, the next level. And that's what,
I think, bro, like mindset, you know what I mean? Obviously sitting in the room and feeling like you belong, you know what I mean? When I came in there, I wasn't gonna redshirt. Like I didn't give a fuck. I mean, I don't know if you, but I didn't give a fuck. Like, bro, like obviously I'm leaving the crib. Like you said, I'm leaving the crib. To me, shit, I'm going up there to go handle business and make my way back to the crib. Really, you know what I mean? I'm gonna go up here, get this check, and just work my ass off and feel comfortable in the room. So when I got around y'all boys older, you know what I mean? Like, but I felt I belong here. Like I'm supposed to be on the field. Like I'm not coming here to. So you know, dudes come to college, but sometimes even not even football, but just regular college, you go there. Sometimes you start to slack. You come there, you might start bullshitting, partying, everything else.
We never understood that.
Yeah,
we understand how your mom and daddy had to pay for school and you ain't go to class.
That's crazy. Yeah, shit like that. Yeah, you got your old girl spin.
You're gonna get beat. Like,
yeah,
right? You know what I mean? Like
every time.
So I mean, that was my mindset coming in, dog. Like just coming there. And just coming out with that chip on my shoulder, and like when I say feeling comfortable in the room, I felt comfortable with y'all, but the old heads. I want to be balling like y'all. You know what I mean? I'm not coming here to waste a year just chilling, partying. Nah, I'm good off of that. But I'm going back to Miami when it's all said and done, and I know where the party is. You know what I mean? So like I just came in there with that chip on my shoulder, dog. And I think like if you're younger, you know what I mean? So don't be relaxed. Don't go in there relax and like get comfortable, man. Don't get comfortable. Always work harder, always keep that chip on your shoulder and that grind and that will and that want to like get better, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Like it ain't gotta be sports. It could be the next thing in life. And I feel like that's what I carry on in life, you know what I mean? Like to this day, like, all right, I play football, you know what I mean? I got the 10, I got a little bag, you know, I felt I could get comfortable and just chill, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like, what's next, bro? Like, let's go get this bag. You know what I mean? It's more out there. And we so young, you know what I mean? Like we're young as hell, so just staying after it, I think, is the biggest thing for me.
And I know everybody's like, you know, when you play ball, everybody's kind of like thing is, you know, ball is it.
Ball is it.
Ball is it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know, we talk about it kind of in our industry, like sometimes you gotta, there ain't no plan B, right? And so I do got an honest question, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, did you ever think like, did you have a plan B? Did you have?
Nah.
I knew that.
It was. I mean, you like to think so. You like, you know what I mean? Shit, I'm gonna figure it out. But when you so dialed in and locked in, like you said, like no matter what insurance, you dialed in on that plan. Yeah, you gotta see it through. You gotta.
You never had any crazy life events or injuries that like, man, this might be it.
Yeah, shit. I played with a broken foot. I broke my navicular bone.
That sounds horrible. Bro, I don't know what bone that is.
Couldn't walk in a boot.
Yeah.
Man, you gotta see that. I gotta see it through. Yeah. I gotta see it through. Yeah. Never did the surgery. Like to the day, shit still like fucked up. But I just had to see it through. Like, I mean, obviously go to school, so like I got my degree. Yeah. That was for moms, you know what I mean? Like to go prove that, you know, I'm a student athlete. Correct. Got that from moms, but shit, no, I had to see it through. But it was like I'm not coming back to the crib without, you know what I mean, touching that next level.
What gave you so much drive? What was your why?
I guess it obviously your why always changes, but obviously just being from the crib, watching how hard my mom worked, and leaving the crib knowing I'm not coming back here if I'm not better than what I was. You know what I mean? Like I'm leaving here, I'm going on a mission. You know what I mean? And through high school, I wanted out of where I was. You know what I mean? Like I wanted out of my environment to do something better. And shit, that was honestly my why. As time went on, you know, your why changed. I had my son and like. Yeah, so forth and so on. But yeah, originally my why was probably wanting out of my environment, wanting better for my family, wanting to change not only my family, but everybody around me, man, to like, you know what I mean? Teach them how to get money, teach them how to do more and shit. Yeah.
When that first big check hit, like, do you remember where you were, what the feeling was like? You're like, hey, check your account.
You know what? The fucked up part about that first check for me, I ain't get it. So it was a lockout. It was a lockout. So
we were just talking about that.
It was crazy, man. It was a lockout. I guess that was the first lockout in I don't know how many years, but so you get drafted and you like, what's next? Like I literally sat at the crib like the rest of the draft is what, April or late March? Yeah. I didn't meet the team until July. Like, I didn't talk to nobody on the team. I got a call say, hey, we drafted you. Here's somebody's gonna text you. Yeah. So a group of players like started a text, and that was it. But no check, no nothing, bro. Like I got I'm with Drew, so Drew looking out, but I really ain't
yeah.
got no bag. Like you signed like $1 million deal, but you don't really get it. You know what I mean?
Tell the ones the people who know that like during that time, right? Cause you coming out of college, right? You know what I'm saying? So ain't no money rolling in yet, right? So what was it a little bit of like, you know, borrow some money, wait till you get the contract, or you just sat on like you kind of like, you know, Drew, you gave a bag? You gave a bag, Drew? Hey, you know what I'm saying? Did Drew give a bag out or what?
Drew took care of his guys, though. Drew took care of his guys for sure. He looked up. I mean, whatever I need, you know, I'm vibing. Y'all boys was around.
Yeah, for sure.
That's when Miami was on fire, actually. Y'all boys, y'all boys around. So shit really ain't have to do too much, you know what I mean? Just maintain at the time.
But all right, so what was the next thing? What was your biggest purchase then? Like, what was your first your first biggest purchase?
Shit, my biggest purchase, honestly, bro, my old girl crib. First thing I did, got my old girl a crib. Shit, I figured out me. I got my old girl a crib.
Always go home, huh?
Got to, shit. I'm gonna go right there. Just keep the couch for me. I'm good. I figured out.
For sure.
So yeah, I think I brought a crib. Shit. I think maybe like 400,000 back then. Yeah. And I mean, shit, the biggest, best investment there was at the time. You know, buying that crib was a huge investment, and it's still doing well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Going back, and we ain't gonna skip this part, but going back to school, you know, I think of the days where we was, you know, when you play ball, you know, football, whether it's football, basketball, when you on campus, we wasn't like on like you know, a lot of schools ain't in the city. They like kind of, so we was in the city. So we was running a little wild. Was there any adversity that you had? Like, you know, any little things, issues that might have come? Because you know why? Because I be thinking about it now as we are the age we are today, and I think about guys who got an opportunity to go to the next level in business. I mean, I see guys now, we try to bring it to the business and they can't because of something that they did in the past.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So on that level, was there some things that you could talk about that happened in the past that might have transitioned where you wouldn't have wanted to been heard, you know, down the road, or if it affect your draft status, or you know, stuff like that?
Yeah. Obviously, I mean, we all got different things that, like you said, injuries could be one of them. Injuries early. Luckily, I didn't really have any injuries in college. But yeah, I ended up getting in trouble. I think my junior going to senior year after y'all boys left, got in a little scuffle. It was nothing crazy.
Scuffle? Hello, no. Everyone said scuffle. I think so. You know, the paperwork is already done. We already, you know, court already done been having
it was, you know, I got in a little fight out there. You know,
did they bring that up in the draft?
Hey, bro, that was a whole. So after that, bro, it was like you go to a draft and you getting drafted, you just keep going to these rooms, bro.
Yeah.
I felt myself in one of the rooms telling the same story and just like not being there. You know what I mean? You ever find yourself outside of your body like, no, I just said this, but they just kept asking, you know, oh, you got in this fight, what happened, this, that, and the third, like, it's gonna drop you. Yeah, character, you got character issues. Fortunately, you know what I mean, Coach Wani, and I'm sure other guys that, you know what I mean, stood out and backed up whatever, you know what I mean, my character is for me, you know what I mean? But shit, then again, I mean, talking to half of the coaches, they were like, shit, we like that shit.
Yeah,
you know
that's what I'm saying. Like, DJ Metcalf and is it Pickens?
Oh, fight.
They be going crazy on the field. You know what I mean? Like, that's all the memes I be seeing right now. We can't wait to see these two just start popping off on people.
They know you're gonna have your way.
That's it. You know what I mean? You play defense, so you know what I mean. You kind of want a dog. Like if I'm looking at, I'm like, bro, if you can control that, we good. Cause I don't want you to blow the bag. You know what I mean? Obviously, you know, in jail and shit like that, but they want you to have some dog in you. So a lot of coaches or GMs is like, you know, I'm not gonna hold that against you. You know what I mean? Like. Just keep that shit on the field, you know what I mean? Like, let's keep it on the field and be smart, you know what I mean, outside of the field and shit like that.
Now, when you was in school, like myself, I was in a relationship, you know, during that time. I ain't get to have all the super fun of everybody else. You know what I'm saying? But hey, let me ask you, right? Being in school, right? You know, there's times where you see people who are in relationships. Or not in relationships. Was you in one? Did it help you be more like, you know, focused, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, did you have the right girl when you was playing, or did you know, how did that kind of?
So Shit, I had my son my sophomore year from my girl from down, my son's mom from down here. So that was like my why. Like, you know what I mean? Like that point, that really like, I gotta provide, you know what I mean? Like, again, like my why changed. Like, and it's not just about the old girl, and it's about my son now. So now I gotta figure out how I'm gonna make this happen, you know what I mean? Like how I'm gonna make this work for him. Yeah. And that you know what I mean? Like that helped me focus, dial in, and drove me, you know what I mean, to get to the next level, you know what I mean? Like lock in. Sure. That was like, I think it was like league or die at the time. Like niggas just like, yo, league or die. That's how real it was. Like,
league or die. What was when you first came out? Like, and maybe this is even a better question, you know, because you know we like talking about money, right? Like over your 10-year career, like what's kind of like that? You ain't got to give a specific number, but what's kind of like that bag that you got over that 10 years?
Oh man, something online, but you know you can't believe everything you see online.
I was doing research. I wouldn't know what it was. Years ago, I started doing a little research on it. I was like, there's a jock tax, then there's a tax in every state. And so it's like you'll see the big gross number, but then you can pretty much cut it in half.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You gotta pay out your people. Yeah,
and that's before you even really paying out. I was looking at just all these different taxes. Like they tax you in every state that you play, and you get taxed in your resident state that you have a residency in. And then there's a jock tax.
Every game you play. If I go play in Cali, you getting taxed on that.
All types of weird stipulations.
What year was the biggest contract? Like, what was it? Like the second, the third? Like, what was the?
A contract was third contract. Like, you know, as the longer you play, usually it grows. You get that big. You can make it to your third contract. You should be set. You make it to that fourth. Sometimes you set, or sometimes that fourth could just be like, you know, extra money in the pocket.
Is there a Super Bowl bonus?
Honestly, I think it was, but
that just went to the count. That just went to the
in and out.
Went to the count, man.
I think, but it's not like you playing, like honestly, like probably like $100,000, maybe something like that. 50 grand, loser get 50, 100. Like it's not a real incentive. Like the money's not really like why you're there at all. Like honestly, shit, you got to buy your Super Bowl tickets. So all the fam that came, you got to buy those. That's getting taxed. Hotels, nothing free.
The Super Bowl be costing you money. Then you go to the Super Bowl like shit.
Yeah, you go to Super Bowl.
Imagine going losing, and plus you had to like come out of pocket, come out of bag.
Going home happy. I see why they sitting out on the field with their legs crossed like
get that. But that shit costs, man. Party you probably done through coming, but just you spend a lot of bread at the Super Bowl for sure. Yeah.
Who's the favorite person you ever played with? I know it's probably like different positions, different people. It's hard to say.
It's hard. Like you know, I'm always tight whatever my D-line, but I mean, the older I got, I always appreciated my younger guys. You know what I mean? And when I was younger, I always looked up to my old heads. You know what I mean? So I appreciate every guy I play with, man. Every locker room I've been in has been special. It's always like a family. You know what I mean? Like you know, that family feel. Obviously, sometimes it's guys in and out. You know what I mean? Like in the NFL, like every Monday or Tuesday they got tryouts. So it's guys coming in and out, and you just got to, you know what I mean? Like, then hopefully my position ain't in there.
Right.
But nah, I mean, awesome. I appreciate every teammate I had, man.
But was there anybody in particular you played with that you was like, man, this guy's just on another level? Like, it doesn't matter how hard you trained or anything like that. Yeah. That person was touched by God. Like, they've got a God-given talent.
Yeah, shit, the GOAT. I mean, that's Tom Brady. I mean, being in the locker room.
That's what I was wondering. I didn't want to like, because anybody I have on is in the NFL, like, what was it like playing with Brady? Well, when I asked AB that, he was like, ask Tom Brady what it was like playing with me. I was like, okay, I respect that.
I respect that.
Was tough.
I respect that. No, I respect, like as a man, like, I respect that. Yeah. But I'm curious, you know what I mean? The bystander.
AB worked hard as shit, man. Like, that work mentality, like that would have. Different, like, and like to the same point of Tom, like being a younger guy coming in, probably like on my third or fourth year, but I think this nigga was like 40 by the time, and still showing up to like OTAs every day, like not missing a day. Like shit, I ain't got no excuse not to be here. You know what I mean? Like I want a day off, but shit, he here. Like how you know what I mean? Like,
You a 10-year vet, he a 20-year vet.
I'm gonna tell Bill like, nah, I'm good today. You know what I mean? He gonna,
Hey,
that's
y'all
not
seen
gonna
that
work.
meme with Bill on the beach with his new girlfriend?
Oh, Bill.
Yeah,
Bill, hey,
living the life right
Bill,
now.
Bill said, I missed out on the 30s, 40s, and 50s, and 50s. I ain't gonna miss out on this.
He living his life right now.
Yeah. He went back in time on that.
AP keeps posting it on Twitter.
Man, he's having a ball out there right now.
Crazy.
King like that.
Hey, NIL. Do you feel like there should be reparations for the guys that got in trouble? I remember coming up in Pennsylvania, there was I don't know, was it Pryor?
Yeah.
So like,
Pryor.
he was like right. I grew up in Greensburg. He was Jeanette, and so I'm sitting here thinking like it's almost like the people that are in jail right now doing jail time for like marijuana. It's like stupid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think about all the guys that got in trouble or missed out on league opportunity because they got in trouble for taking $1, I don't even think Pryor took money. It was like a
I think it was signing or like
tattoos.
Tattoo.
Crazy. So like now there's high school kids getting like checks. You know what I mean? Like so like what are your thoughts on like real cash? You know what I mean? Like what are your thoughts on is it spoiling? Obviously it's changing the game. You know what I mean? Is it spoiling the game? What about the guys? I feel like there should at least be a public like addressing where it's like, hey guys, we apologize. At least apologize to the people that got like negatively affected. What do you think about that?
I think shit, we probably should have fought harder back then. Like really, like we ain't addressed it back then. The younger generation just came as like, nah, we ain't dealing with that shit. Y'all not finna make all this money off. You know what I mean? They got smarter. As we was just like, all right, that's the rules. Like we just go, you know what I mean? Like just keep moving and shit. Like
we had a guy on our team that was affected by that. A real dog too. And we was just talking about it last night. What? I mean, I don't even think it had to do nothing with like it just was some scene with certain type of money and things like that. But that was
messed up a piece of his life.
Oh for sure. Like no longer in school. Like that's out of school. Yeah.
When I went to Lincoln, Nebraska, I was 21 years old. I ran into an alumni and he took me through the whole stadium, all the equipment and everything like that. And he says, guess how much we make a home game? Like the Nebraska, you know what I mean? I was like, I don't know. He was like, $8 million. And there's like 10 home games or something a year. It's like $80 million will pass through this organization, but we don't get a dime.
But that's also
and I was like,
that's also how the university stays afloat.
Yeah, but you can't cut somebody off $1. You know what I mean? Making all this money off. Like, I think college is such a crazy.
Going to bowl games, we're fighting to get the bowl game. There's no reward. They gave us like a watch, a brute watch, and maybe like a
bag.
A bag and a camcorder.
Yeah, $350.
And then you hear that check that they get like it's like a
come on, man.
Like
somebody getting rich in these college. You know what I mean? Between the tuition, between the sports and everything like that, there's a handful of people. I don't know if
like
it's
EA Sports, NCAA.
People are like, they got to be billionaires. I'm sitting here thinking like, I need to just start a college. You know what I mean? Like,
real.
You know, I'll take tuition. We'll start a sports team. Everybody pay me. You don't get nothing. Like, I'm like looking at it as like, it's almost like a glorified type of like slavery. How I was looking at it before NIL. It's like you getting rich off the backs of predominantly. That's how it's laid out. A bunch of young black kids, you know what I mean, that are athletic, working out the mud, and made you a bunch of money.
Right.
For sure.
And it's one thing, kind of like what the business we came from prior. I'm cool with people making a buck off me. I'm not cool to be disrespected about it. You know what I mean? So I feel like the respect at least has to be there. Because I feel like people are cool with you making money off them. I think men stand up when disrespect starts to come in. Like boys will just keep taking it. You know what I mean? But as a man, it's like, nah. You know what I mean? I need my respect.
It's the saying, like, I want to be used, but I don't want to be misused.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, use me, coach.
Yeah, come on.
Don't abuse me.
Put my name, put us on the front of the cover, but come on, there got to be some type of compensation.
I need $2, coach,
please.
let
me get it. Like you call it, like we think about it, like Jabal, like me and Jabal had kids, like I was a little earlier. I was a little early. I came into college with it. I came into college with a kid, and it's like, we got kids in school. And you got family, that's doing what they can do, but I mean, there should be something that like we asking coaches to let us borrow $100, $50 to send back to our families and kids, and man, come on,
you can't even fly your fam out to the game though, like
you know what I
mean, your mom sent you away and can't even come check you out. It's crazy,
Wow,
that's another part.
But and then you got injuries though. That's the biggest thing about NIL for me, bro. Like, remember Greg?
Yes.
Bro,
Greg Romies.
my brother, like roommate, like
Yep.
top 10 easily. Top 10, like I think he had an ACL and a back injury, bro, and he supposed to be top 10 player, like, and he could have been making crazy NIL money back then in college. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
at least to help out because you get injured, like it's done with.
That's another part. That's another part of the business that is going to be we're going to figure out real quick. Man. That's something that insurance for athletes.
You
know, and being able to step into that space because number one, we're going to help a lot of people. But number two, it's like that space ain't really tapped. The way it should be because of how much money is being made. You know what I'm saying, off of these athletes, NIL deals, and stuff like that. Who's looking after that?
That's gonna
especially young guys. You talking about high school right now? Dudes get hurt in high school. Remember the kid from Rutgers with the spine? Like it's just spine.
Wheelchair for life.
Yeah,
for sure.
And not taken care of is crazy. And you talk about these $1 billion universities, man.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And just like hey, here's a thank you card for your participation. Maybe not even that. That's where it gets.
And the university put you in a nice wheelchair and send you off.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I had Earl Wolf on. You guys know him? Earl Wolf. He played I think at some like Maryland college, and then he played at the Eagles. But similar story. He was in for a year, and then he blew out his knee. So he was in the league for a year, blew out his knee, and it's like I don't know if like the contract, like you have to hit so much time before you're in, before they release the rest of the money.
Right. Yeah.
But it's like a whole, like even like, so it's not even enough like for you to cross over. You've got to put so much time in for all the funds to release.
I think it's 3 years before you consider it like a vet and you start get like you like covered or something like that.
So is the NFL pension, is it structured based off how much time you put in?
Yeah.
Is there other variables that affect that, like stats, data, different things like that?
No. It's
so like Brady gets the same pension as everybody else based off. It's all a matter of time.
Yeah, and now his is probably be crazy because he put in more time.
But somebody like Brett Favre played for 1,000 years, so like he probably got a similar, pension.
Yeah, but you don't get it till you 65, 60.
Oh, it don't start kicking into you 65?
Bro, you ain't getting that. You ain't touching
you got 30 more years to figure this out.
No, Brett Favre was probably paying while he was playing. He didn't retire till 70 years old.
Right.
For sure.
Aaron Rodgers is about to start paying.
Yeah, for sure. Which is also
he's definitely up there.
Which is also another thing, as athletes like myself who came out and then went into coaching and then went into business, the support system of at these universities and at these schools, like that's why I would talk about the plan A, but also plan B. Like how many of us? I mean, listen, after your sophomore year, if you ain't on the field going crazy, or what I'm saying, you better have a plan B, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But for those guys, right, like the support system, the university, I kind of felt, and no disrespect to where we come, what school we was at, but I feel like I've heard from a lot of other people that the support system is just like something they gotta have. They don't really, we got these little, workshops, and then we got, a couple of, people who come in and talk business, but some of it is, does the university really put a lot into it? But then also, do we do our part too?
Taking advantage of it.
Take accountability and take advantage of those, because I can remember some of those people coming in, like how I go into, Pitt now. They let me talk at, Pitt, Duquesne, or whatever those, all these universities that I could talk to now.
Yeah.
And I see guys just looking like, and I'm like, bro, you at Duquesne, bro. Like, and I don't mean to say whatever school, but whatever school. Hey, you know what I'm saying? But you not at Alabama. You not at. You should be looking at me.
I'm sending that clip to everybody at Duquesne. You go out to get 20, 30
DMs. But you should be looking at somebody like us and being like, yo, let me shake your hand, let me get your number, let me do something, networking. And they don't, because all of these Fortune 400 companies, they love athletes.
Yeah.
They love, like when we came in the door, like they love athletes because they understand they have the, they got the resiliency, they got the teamwork, they got the work ethic, they got the schedule, they got all these things that these big companies are looking for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So taking advantage of that, like now that you've been out the league, 10-year vet, Super Bowl, you accomplished a lot, right? In the NFL, like a lot. And I know people, they hear it, but they don't really understand. You accomplished a lot. Now you're 35, right?
Yeah.
Like you just talked about a pension till you don't get till you 65. Like another 30 years. Like what do people do in them 30 years? Like, you know what I'm saying? When you come out, like, so, you know, the plan for you now, like coming out, like what does that kind of look like?
Shit. I mean, like kind of how college, I guess, offered some things.
Yeah.
NFL offer a few different things. They're trying to get better. That was the whole lockout thing. You know, whether it's podcast classes or things like that, they offer a few different courses that, you know what I mean, you could take advantage of or you could not take advantage of. And a lot of times we see the older guys, you're talking about that are 50, 60 coming back and, you know, taking advantage of those. Whereas, I probably should have been doing it in the off season when I was younger instead of, you know, out here running around South Beach.
Yeah.
But that'd be my biggest advice, you know what I mean, to the younger guys. And I see a lot of my younger guys doing that, you know, taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
Like you said, going back to the college, shit, you was just young, man, you know what I mean? We was, like you said, shit, we barely thinking about school. We trying to figure out how to get to the next level or you know what I mean?
Yeah. You ever think about going back and talking to Pitt, talking to the guys and...
Yeah, man, I gotta get there. You know, the weather.
You gotta get on that flight.
It's hard flying
the right weather.
Oh my God.
That circle with all that, man, turbulence. That's all I remember.
Yeah. Oh, they gotta come play Miami for you to.
No, I gotta go back. Show love, man. The solid nigga. But no, I do plan on going back. And you know, I think I talked to a few the younger guys when they did come here. But
we got some guys from Fort Lauderdale that's up there right now.
Yeah,
shout out to Pittsburgh, recruiting down, coming back down to the core where the fast and the strong is at. Man.
Coach P. I don't know how they're gonna do now that Coach P gone. But
Coach Partridge was he was the golden nugget over there.
Yeah,
he brought everybody from Florida. You know, he out of Plantation, but
he was recruiting heavy down here. But yeah, I gotta get back, man. I gotta get up there, talk to the younger, and just, you know what I mean, like you do, bro. But again, you're younger, so I'm not really. Yeah, I'm enjoying college right now. Man. I hear you, Unc, but I ain't gonna hit you. You know what I mean? That's what they thinking. Yeah. I hear you, Unc, but you know what I mean?
You made the right, but also coming out now, 35, you made the right investments. For your money to be.
So it didn't turn into NFL.
Yeah, so it didn't turn it didn't turn into where at the end of the day,
good.
now you come out and you like, oh, you scrambling. No, you made the right investments to make sure that you can. You know, that money was there for down the road for the next 20 years or whatever the case may be. Right. Is there anything, you know, any special investment that you in now, like when you come out of ball, or it's just like you said, it's just like college time, relaxing, you know what I'm saying? Relax, chill. Your son now is in high school, 10th grade. So, you know, getting to see him and do all that.
That's big. Yeah, that's
what position is he playing?
He's at like nickel right now. Nickel, yes. He was at receiver, but you know what I mean? That's tough, man. Play some defense. Yeah. He got that dog in him too, so he should be tough over there. But no, I mean, obviously, I real estate, you know what I mean, always been the safest in me, you know what I mean? Airbnb, I'm down here in Florida, man, there's always people in and out, you know what I mean? So any kind of, I feel like tourist action, you know what I mean, that's something I like to dabble in, you know what I mean? Like keep my head in that wave when it comes to investing. Obviously, watching the market, I don't know if guys in the, you know, Bitcoin is a little more risky. Ain't really my flavor, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? You want to keep your portfolio. Yeah, keep your portfolio. You know what I mean? You don't want to be locked into one basket, you know what I mean? So for me, just, you know what I mean, while playing, you know what I mean, protecting my asset, protecting my money and doing all that, you know, being smart with it. A lot of times they talk about the not for long and guys going broke after. A lot of that, you know what I mean? Like we come in, when you making meals, it's easy to spend. But when you retire, you ain't making meals no more. So you just gotta adjust, you know what I mean? Cut back.
Spending has to be
I don't need 5-6 cars no more. You know what I mean? I never needed them, but I definitely don't need them now, you know what I mean? A new chain every you know what I mean? Just, you know, just cut back a little bit and just watch your expenses, man.
Yeah. As we wrap up, I know you gotta get out, I think. Yeah, we definitely got to get you out. Okay, cool. So as we wrap up, though, I want to ask, who was the hardest person or the most annoying person to tackle? You know what I mean? Running back, receiver, maybe even, I don't know. But who was like, man, I hate tackling this person?
Bro, it was one play, I think maybe my rookie year. I'm from the crib, so it's I'm looking up. He like a legend, you know what I mean? Like Ricky Williams. Make a move, meet him in the backfield. And that boy hit me solid to the chest, and I remember that hit to this day. I don't know if he felt it, but that bitch hit my soul, bro. I was like, damn, that's what this shit feel like. But probably him, Frank Gordon. Like he might have had some dog in him. Like he might have just because I was in Indy and he had just left, so he might have been mad at Indy. You know what I mean when we played him, but that motherfucker hard as hell to tackle. You know what I mean? Shady. Long as you ain't got him on the island, like long as I ain't 1-on-1 tackling. Yeah. But ultimately, I mean, dudes getting paid out here. And it's a lot of dogs that's really, you know what I mean?
Everybody, you getting that check and you sign that, you better be ready.
Yeah. Shit, I played against Vic, man, and
Vic,
yeah,
man, you old for real, man. Hey, what's going on, man? What is this old out here for real? Oh, Vic, man, we need Vic on the podcast.
What was that like? He just had skates, like
man. You were scared to do anything, like you just kind of like, you know what I mean? Like
he like that, like that real commercial.
Yeah,
hey, you remember you had to put you getting a little amusement park little thing, and he just juking everybody on the field.
Yeah. But you when you going in, you hesitate, you know what I mean? Because you don't want to be on this highlight tape. You like, let me slow my ass down and wait for help. You know what I mean? Like,
Facts.
but but shifty, man, just and fast. You know what I mean? So.
No highlight. We don't want no highlight. Nobody on no highlight tapes. You go to film on Monday morning, it could be real tricky. It could get real tricky, man. But listen, I know we appreciate you obviously being on. We know we got you gonna do a lot of great things over. Right? You still young, man. He ain't put it all up yet. So he's in this little stage of relaxing and chilling. But now I think. Being able to watch you over the years and coming from school and then obviously in the league, it's been inspirational for a lot of not just myself, but the guys that I know, that have watched you and went to school with us. So we appreciate you, man, just to be able to come on with us and give people a little bit of your story and kind of say, what's really happening. We still want to know about what happened on Southside.
No, I don't
you know
know.
what I'm saying? Windows and but is there any last thing you want to say before we jump off, man, to the people?
Hey, appreciate y'all boys having me, man. Honestly, dope, man. Dope what y'all doing. Obviously, man. I watch you go through the grind after playing from college, like you said, and been hustling since, man. And hearing your story too, man. Yeah. Always inspiring, man. Appreciate y'all boys, and always, man. Look forward to watching more of the podcast and continue y'all boys' growth with the insurance and everything else in business, man.
We always got one last question, right? How important you think coming out of the league or just from where we from? How important you think life insurance is?
Man, that's something when you're young you don't think about. You know what I mean? Like you hear about it, and you're like But as you get older, man, it's one way to protect your assets, man. Like when you talk about taxes, like you're in a certain bracket or whatever it may be. You know what I mean? There's ways you could use it to help you. You know what I mean? If the money that, like for me, it might be protecting once I pass away. You know what I mean? Making sure that I don't get taxed. You know what I mean? Everybody's taken care of. You know what I mean? But it's different ways, and you can use it so many ways. And it's you're not putting in a huge amount, and if you know how to work it, you can see the big pros of it. So it's definitely huge, man. And it's something that I say our community could learn a lot more about, and really, you know what I mean? We got trust issues, but we could learn a lot more and grow there.
Good.
Let's go.
Cool, brother.
Fire. Another episode of AK. Make sure you guys tune in, like, comment, subscribe, the whole nine. So, peace.
Yo.